Hey everyone, it's Christy here with Blooms and Brushstrokes. Welcome to my channel. For all of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that are new, welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk about the art supplies that I bought when I was in Thailand. So recently, I was on a trip to Thailand. I went for 2 weeks, had an incredible time. I saw lots of great art. Saw lots of great things in Thailand, met a lot of amazing people, had a ton of really great adventures. But one of the things that I really wanted to try to do is to find some locally made paint, watercolor paint, and locally made supplies. So I was successful, and it really didn't take me very long to be successful. So I'm very, very happy with that. So before I had left, I had looked online to see. Good old TikTok is amazing for these types of things. And I found that I was able to, that this store called Woot had some watercolor paint there. Wasn't sure if I was going to get there or not, but I knew that that was a thing. And the rest of the paints that I found, I didn't know about them. I had no idea. So I went on a couple little adventures to a couple art stores, and then I was at many art markets. So I was able to meet some watercolor artists and talk to them, and got steered in the direction to find an art supply store. The majority of the art supplies that are in Thailand are made in China. And I mean, which makes sense. It's right there. They come from China. So it wasn't super surprising to me that the majority of the stuff came from there. However, it was cool that I was able to find some paints, some paint brushes. Now there was a lot of paint brushes that I found. However, I was nervous to bring them back because I only had a carry-on, and I didn't want them to get ruined, like spend a lot of money on some really big brushes and then them not make it back. So I just played it safe and brought back a couple small ones. So I brought back a number 3 round and then a number 7, both of which I don't have. I have a number 4, I have a number 6. I don't have a number 7, or a 3. So I thought, hey, why not? I can't remember the price of them, but the art supplies there, the locally made ones, were significantly cheaper than what we would buy here. However, any of the professional watercolor supplies, brand name brushes, brand name paints, all that stuff was very comparable to what I would pay for it in Canada. So that was kind of an interesting thing, but it makes sense. I mean, no matter what we do in life, art supplies are not cheap. So that is a reality. And then I did get this little teeny watercolor pad book. It's just small for doodling in. And I think this is going to be amazing for me for those times that I just want to sit down and just play around. And it was cheap. It was, I think, $6 or $7 for this. I don't know how many pages are in it. And it was made in China. I did look, there is like Chinese letters on the back. Anyways, so today what I wanted to do was to swatch them out with you guys. And I was hopeful to have, I ordered some empty pans so that I could show you guys what I'm going to do with these tubes that I got. But it hasn't arrived yet, and it's supposed to arrive next week, and I want to have this video to you guys for Tuesday. So I'm just going to show you guys what I'm going to do with them. Like, we'll swatch them out, and then when I finally get my pans, I did order it off Amazon, and I went to Lake Michael's yesterday in Regina, an art store here in Canada, to see if they had any empty pans that I could just grab and use those for something else, and they didn't have any. So I had SOL with that. So I'm just going to put them on a plate for today, just a little dab of them while we swatch them out. And then when I do get the the empty pans, then I will show you guys what I'm going to do with them. I actually have only ever used pans, really. I do have some old Dollar Roundy tubes of paint, but I've never put them into pans, and I think that's the best way to use them. That's kind of what I've researched and I've seen over the years. So that's what I'm going to do with these. So I'm very curious to see how they work. I'm not super picky, but I know that there's better quality paints. And then of course they're like light fastness is important. That is the ability for it to maintain its color, its true color, without being without fading. And so this says on the back, all colors are tested according to international blue wool standards to ensure that they are resistant to ultraviolet lights for more than 100 years. So they are saying that these do have great light fastness, which is awesome. That's not even something I even really read on the back of them when I was there. So very cool. So these tubes were actually created at the university, the Silpakorn University in Thailand, which is very cool. So I picked up 6 colors of those. And then this box of pans, these were created by a young gal in Thailand, and they're made with natural pigments. So I will tag her Instagram. You guys can go follow her, and you can see what she's all up to in there. It's Sand Suwanya. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm going to screw it up. So I'm not going to play around with that. However, her Instagram page is very cool. She shows how she sources the materials for the pigment. So that is inspiring. Anyways, I think, so we'll do the swatching out. We'll check out the colors, which I'm very excited about. We'll use our new paint brushes, maybe just the number 7, we'll see. And I'm not going to use this book today. I have a piece of paper down here that we can just kind of play around with a little bit. Once we get our colors swatched out, we get to play around with them a little bit. So I think that is a very cool thing. And something I'm going to continue to do when I travel is to find locally made source art supplies, specifically paint supplies. And brushes and papers and whatever else that I can find, because that was a really cool experience for me to meet people. Of course, there's a bit of a language barrier, so I would bring up my Instagram and I would show pieces that I've done, so then people would understand that I too do watercolor, and then they would understand like what I was after. So it was a very cool experience. It made for some fun. One night I was like, I'm not up to too much, and I looked online, there was an art store, and I walked to it, and it was like a 45-minute walk. And so I walked there, and then I walked back, and I was able to like walk through just like the evening part of life in Chiang Mai, and it was really cool. And I did find these same paints there, but I didn't buy any because I thought, well, I'm gonna wait and see, because I was going to this art village the next day. And I was like, I'm gonna wait and see, and if I don't find anything up there, because other people had said, probably art village, you'll find something. The art village did have some supplies there, but they didn't have watercolor paints. They had some books like this, but they were way more money than what they were at the art store that was actually in the mall. So anyways, you guys, let's get cracking. I'm going to just get a plate for these so I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do with those, and then let's swatch them out and have a little bit of fun and see what we got in Thailand. I'm super excited. I've been thinking about it all day. So let's get cracking, you guys. Alrighty, here we are. So this book here is what I have swatched the Yarkus paints in, and then I swatched the CSY paints. So I'm gonna just continue on. No text. Hey. Okay, you gotta make your presence known. Thank you. All right, so what I'm gonna do for the tubes is I've gotten just a little plate, and I'm honestly just gonna put a teeny little dab down. Buddy, here. I'm just gonna put a teeny little dab down, and then we're going to use it from there. So I've got these. I'm just going to pop that open. This is our violet. We do not need much. Maybe we will when we play around a little bit. The rose madder. There wasn't, oh, that's interesting. That's already open. Neat. There wasn't a lot of different options in these paints, and I thought, well, I'll just grab a bit of I love green, so obviously I got some greens. Sap green. That's interesting, that one was open. Indigo. It's kind of like a blacky blue. purple. Our ocean green, and then we have white. And I bought white because my white is almost totally out. Oh, that one's open as well. Ooh. Interesting. My white's almost gone, so I was like, well, I'll get some new white, and then I'll just, well, white is white, but we'll swatch her out anyways. Okay, so I've just got those down there on there. Anyway, so I just put them on here. When I get the pans, I'm going to actually squeeze a bunch into them and then let them harden. And then we'll use them just like a regular, there, that's better. Then we'll just use them like regular pans of watercolor paint as opposed to out of the tube. I saw the gentleman I met, I didn't get his name, but his studio I got, I think it was called 1528. And he just had this huge palette where he just squeezed these tubes right into it and then just had this massive palette and let them, they weren't necessarily like little pans like this. They were in this huge, huge palette that he used. So that was interesting as well, but he just squeezed them right into there. So first off, we've got our violet and we're going to swatch that out. So we're just going to do wet on dry. I got this brush. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Even the brush is pretty nice. Oh, I like that. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Like that's a pretty vibrant violet, which is really nice. That's quite a bit of pigment and water on there. So next one, we're going to go clean our brush off and we're going to do the rose madder. That one's pretty. Like that one. That's a very pretty rose color. Like not even staying in the lines. Okay, so clean your brush off again. That one's really gorgeous. And then we're doing the sap green, which is, I mean, one of my ultimate favorite colors of green. I love that olive green. I love that sappy green. Again, beautiful color. I really enjoy that. Real nice. And then our indigo. Well, I got so much color on there. Which is kind of our like bluey, blacky purple. Not tons of purple, but it's kind of got that little, very nice as well. These are quite nice. Like, I think they're quite beautiful. Then we have our ocean green. Nice color. A little more transparent, or I think I'll say, but it came out of the tube in an interesting way. And then we have our white, which is just our standard white, and that's perfect. So you know what, I honestly think these are pretty nice paints. It'll be interesting to work with them when we play around a little bit on the paper underneath and see kind of how they react with other colors and, you know, wet on wet and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I think that those ones turned out really beautiful. What do you guys think? Definitely the ocean green. I mean, it looks like the sea in Thailand, I'll tell you that. It just kind of has a bit of a, it's just a little bit interesting, but it could also just be the color that, nope, don't. Like, it could just be the paper as well. So that's the first ones. Anyways, I'm loving, loving, loving for sure this first four. Of course, white is just white, but the ocean green, I'm neither here nor there about it, but I should have had a pretty good indication about it, but mix that with this, that it'll be beautiful. Or even just We'll play around with it after. But anyways, I think those are going to be pretty nice colors all around. So I'm happy with those. Really happy. So let's get into swatching out these other ones. So I've written them on this box. I don't know if that's what it's for, but I've written them down there just because I'm going to take these papers off. And this is like, how beautiful is this box? It's got a little sun and a moon on it. So cute. And then we've got our little pans. I hate to even open them. Oh, they're just the cutest little dots. So they're in little wooden pans, which is pretty dang cute. So not a ton of, and these were like $45. So price point, you know, like, okay, those are interesting. They feel more chalky. There's resting amber, moon blue. Oh, hey, can you guys see that? Okay, we've got resting amber, moon blue. Iron moon is this one. This whole set is called Beneath the Moonlight is the set name. So then we've got first moon. Here, which is kind of a yellowy color. Well, I'm excited to swatch these out. These are made with natural pigment, so I'm really curious. They're going to have a probably less vibrant, they're going to have more of a muted color, but that'll be beautiful. Okay, so we've got that, and then Night River. So Silent Field, Night River were the last two. Sorry about that. So I'm not going to spray these down. I'm just going to get in there and get them wet as we go. I'm just going to move that up there. You guys can still see it. Yep. So we'll swatch that one out first. Yeah, these are going to be very muted, beautiful colors though. Like absolutely gorgeous. How about this one? That resting amber. That's a beautiful color. Like that would, for flowers, gorgeous. So then we have our Moon Bloom, which is the next one. And she did swatch these out on her little, you know, on that, sorry, that's, you know, quite a bit more pigment, but less water. That's okay. So the next one, we've got our Moon Bloom. And again, beautiful, translucent, purple, soft. Such a soft color. Again, I really love these. Like I think, you know, I love the brights, but I love when we can get into these bit muted colors. So this one's the Iron Moon is the next one. More of a gray kind of charcoal type of color, or iron maybe, as the title indicates. Very nice. First Moon is our next one here. It's got some yellowy undertones, yellowy green undertones, maybe more mustard. Yeah, really nice. You know, and these are really going down nice. And this brush seems to be really beautiful as well. This is that number 7. Like, it's pretty nice. So I'm not complaining about that either. I'm liking the control. I like how much it holds the water. So, and right on it, it says Thailand. I can't see the word. I can't read the writing before it, but. So Silent Field is this one. And that's kind of got that, you know, camo green look to it, which is, these ones are great. Really loving those. And our last one here is called Night River. Oh, look at that one. These are beautiful. Yeah, the colors are really gorgeous. So these will be fun to work with, absolutely. I don't know if there's somewhere you can actually order these, or if you have to go to the store, if she sells them off her website. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to know, because if I fall in love with something and I want to get more of it, I'll have to figure out how to get that. I'll be telling my friends that go to Thailand, "Could you pick me some up?" Anyway, so that is that one swatched out as well. So look at that. I am very drawn to this Silent Field. All of these, I really love them. I love that softness of the color. And I was actually looking for something like that. And I think I'm going to get some stone ground paints here right away. And I think that I'm going to, yeah, I'm excited to get those as well. So the paint situation is really ramping up here. It just gives me more options to play with. So yeah, that's going to do it for those. I'm really looking forward to working with them a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I just have a piece of paper here that I've taped down, and I thought, well, we can just kind of play a little bit before we end this this little video, where you can just kind of play around with some of the color and see how they work with each other. And so this is kind of that whole, what I was saying to you guys in the last video, like just get your brushes and just play around and paint. We're going to do that right now. So I'm going to work with these pans first. I'm just really inspired by them. And so now that they've been activated a bit, I think the color will be a little bit brighter even, and we can go over that one more time. But anyways, so we're just going to do our same kind of thing that I typically do, is where I go and throw a dot down, a couple dots down, and I'm just going to work from this way over and just do a couple with this new paint. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Clean off our brush. Okay. Working this way with the brush is a little bit different. But that's okay. So we've got some petals down there. Let's say we want to go drop a little bit more in there. Yeah, I mean, they're decent. I love the softness. Really, really do. That's going to be great. So there's one. We can go do a little moon bloom one as well. Enough. So the moon bloom is that purpley looking one. And we're gonna get a lot of color on there. And we'll do another one down here. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 5. So I'm still using that number 7 round brush that I got in Thailand. Look at that. That's a lot of water on there, but say we don't love all that water, we're gonna go pick it up. And we can start to see how these are gonna dry now. Again, my quality of paper isn't the greatest, so that's a problem. I'm gonna go and add a little bit of the Night River into this one. Okay. So as far as the color goes, where it kind of blooms into the other color, it doesn't have a lot of that effect, but that's okay. That's fine by me. I'm not somebody that, it has to be that way, but you can kind of see where it stalls out within there. But again, such gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Which I like those two together. That looks great. Okay, let's go in with some of the iron moon here. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, sorry. The iron moon. We're going to put a couple dots down here. We're going to do 3. Cleaning our brush off with some water on there. We'll just like so. And I'm going to go and add some of the silent field into there, which is that greeny kind of colored one. We're just going to go and, oh yes, like look at those, how they look together. I love that. Ooh. That's real gorgeous. Put that silent field in there. And the last one that we haven't quite used yet, we're going to use the first moon. So that's the yellow one. One, 2, 3, 4. Clean off our brush a bit. Well, let's add a little bit more. So these ones are a bit more muted. And the brush. The brush is good. Like the brush works fine. So in this one, I'm going to add a little bit of that resting amber in there, just to add some depth into the center there. Just a teeny little bit, but really, like how nice are all those colors? Yeah, they're beautiful. Like I think that they're truly lovely to work with. So they'll add they'll add for some fun tutorials. So I'm going to leave those ones there. And then we'll bust out the plate again. So this has the Silpakorn ones on them. And we'll just do a couple little flowers here on the side with some of these. We'll use some of that rose madder. Dropping down some dots. As usual, these ones are a little bit closer together. Cleaning off our brush. Getting rid of some of that paint. Ooh la la, that looks great. So inside this one where the dark we want to have a little dark, we're going to go and throw in a little bit of that violet. Just like so. Ooh, that is a gorgeous as well. I'm really happy with these paints, you guys. I'm pretty pumped. Instead of doing another flower, I'm going to do a little bit of greenery. So we're going to use that sap. We're going to use the sap green and the ocean green and just do a little bit of that together. We'll do just a classic leaf, like so. Also very nice when you combine them together. Say we want to be a little crazy. Throw a little neutral in there. Let's throw a little bit of that indigo. Why not? You know, we can do, got a little bit more of this ocean green. So we can kind of do a little bit of a different style of leaf with a little bit of that indigo in there. Very cool, very beautiful. So those have dried up, and if we wanted to go in with our micron, this is, oh, I got this number 2. I got this one in Thailand. It's the number 2 because they didn't have any. I was like, why did I get number 2? But they didn't have the number 1s in Thailand, so I got this number 2. So we can just kind of finish off our flowers, you know, and very nice. Yep. I quite like the finish of these natural ones. There's something to be said about that. They're really beautiful. Just the same as usual. We're just going in and adding our lines in there and some detail, just as I normally would. And I think they look really, really gorgeous. Okay, I'm curious about this. Where the violet didn't really blend super great into the rose. So these ones, that's the university one, like that didn't have very good blending. However, this one did. It with the blue moon and the night river. Those two blended up really, really nice. So this is interesting to me. This is beautiful. Very nice blending for the most part. So very cool. We'll just that's one thing that makes a difference when you're using paint. And again, you know, we can't discredit the paint entirely because a lot of it has to do with the quality of paper too, like how the color will flow. So, you know, you can't just say, oh, it's all the paint, but you can obviously tell right there that there's not, you know, there's definitely some interesting things going on there with that, but that's okay. We're just experimenting anyways, so. There we go. So when you get new paints, you can just play around like this as well. Just have some fun. There's no, you know, no right or wrong. And this is how you just get to be acquainted with your paints. I do like how the indigo and the ocean green blended on this one. This one turned out real pretty. I like those two colors together. And that gives you, you know, the opportunity to really see what colors do work well together. So, and then if you wanted to, you could go and get out, if you really want to get crazy and finish them off, you could go and get some metallics, which maybe I won't use those because I got to get them activated and I haven't yet, but let's use this one. Haven't used this in a while. This is the Speedball Gold calligraphy ink. They need a good shake up. And they can be a bit messy. Let's use this guy. This is the number 3 from Thailand. We're going to use that little brush. And we're just going to splatter some, maybe we'll have to do a few dots in the centers. And then we'll splatter. This one is kind of like a side view, so. But there we go, just like that. Like how beautiful. It's got a little bit too much, but boom, like that. We've got a few little practice flowers done. Just a good exercise to get your flow going on there. I think they turned out great. So all in all, I'm going to rate these as fairly high. You know, I'm not the most picky person. I like to use a little bit of like what's affordable, but I really am enjoying these Sand Suwanya. I think we'll say Sand Suwanya is how you pronounce it. The Sand Suwanya natural pigments. I'm really loving the look of those. So those get like 5-star review from me. Anyways, you guys, that is going to do it. The video for my Thailand art supplies. I am totally happy with them. I'm glad that I went to go and find them. And so, yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the paints. Well, you guys, that is going to wrap it up for this tutorial. So if you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please give me a subscribe. Obviously, the more people that engage and subscribe and all that good stuff, the more my videos get pushed out to the universe of YouTube, and the more people that that will be exposed to my channel. So thank you guys again for everyone who has already subscribed, who likes, who comments. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love all your questions. I love the community that we're all creating together here. And that is the whole purpose of my YouTube channel. So thank you so much. And you guys help me want to grow as an artist. So, and continue to grow as an artist and be inspired. So thank you guys so very much for that. Yeah, definitely let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the paints. I'll leave in the show notes or the description of the video, I will leave all the information I have on this, and I will look up and see if these are available, any of these are available to purchase outside of Thailand. And that is going to do it for me. We will have some more flower tutorials coming right up soon. I took some beautiful pictures of flowers while I was in Thailand, and so Those will be coming real quickly here. So that's going to do it for me on this, I wouldn't say, well, tutorial. That's going to do it for me on this video this week, you guys. If you, again, like I said, if you have any comments, please feel free to send them my way. I will answer them as soon as I possibly can. And I hope you guys enjoy your week, and we will talk to you very soon. Thanks again for watching.